Hello, Internet. And keeping that. I'm not starting over.
Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
Sorry,
Oh, it's in
I
there.
got
Okay.
it. I got it.
sorry, I didn't know it was on. I didn't know it was on.
Uh-huh. There you go.
And welcome back to Antiheroes Anonymous, or welcome for the first time if it's your first time joining us. I'm Ethan, and I'm the Dungeon Master for this 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons show! Nick, do you want to go ahead and do some player introductions, or at least start them off, and then we'll do some announcements, a recap, and get into it?
Sure. Hi, I'm Nick. I play Sir Thaddeus Hammerlock, the Human Vengeance Paladin.
I'm Kay. I play Harmony, who's the Tiefling Wild Magic Sorcerer.
I'm Zach. I play Zant, who is the human fighter ranger.
I'm Melissa, and I play Mara, who is a human rogue swashbuckler.
So we premiere our episodes every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube. Throughout the show, we use a variety of custom items, as well as a custom wild magic table, so be aware of that as you're watching. Our music comes from BattleBards, TabletopAudio, and Incompetech. And the character portraits, which you'll see in the top right corner of the screen on the character cards, were drawn by an artist named Carrie Peach, who goes by @CarrieDraws on Twitter. Other than that, you can check the video description for links and info about everything I just mentioned and more. And then if you want to find out more about us, what we're doing, when we're doing it, and get occasional silly content about this campaign, you can follow us on Twitter @AntiheroesAnon. Other than that, we just hope you enjoy the show, and share with your friends if you do, come back for more. All of that is great stuff. I don't know what my throat just did there. Weird
I thought that was a sound effect.
Yeah.
I thought so too.
Anyways, a quick recap and then we'll get into it. The Night Hag Mother Midnight is making her presence known once more, causing some trouble for the party and their friends. Thus, the party put together a plan to reach her on in her lair on Malbolg, the 6th layer of the Nine Hells. To that end, they traveled to Sigil, the interplanar city, in order to secure papers of safe passage to the layers of the Nine Hells known as Avernus, Stygia, and Malbolg. During their trip to Sigil, they made an exchange with a friend and ally of theirs named Sial. In exchange for 2 significant favors owed to Sial, they received a powerful robe of the Archmagi and also Magi? Magi?
Magi.
Maggie.
Gift.
The Arch-Gif?
Mage. Magi.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Magi. Anyways, that robe and a navigator to help them sail the river Styx. Back on their home plane of Elendal, later, they learned more details about the Sea Devil's Curse, a ghost ship that is mysteriously connected to Mara's past, present, and potentially her future. And they are now setting out on a plan to intercept it. So the group of you had just finished a series of downtime activities where you pursued your various goals, got a little bit more information about the ghost ship you are trying to track down, and regrouped. And so we are going to pick up with you guys regrouping, presumably in Ferendel. Where would you like to regroup?
I think it was at the dock where Harmony had been working on the ship.
Right.
Right.
Right now we were in the
We
reaches.
dipped it, and then
Yeah.
Guardians Rise.
Oh no, yeah, you came to meet us, didn't you?
Yeah, we were up in.
That's right.
You came to meet me, and
Yeah.
then we went to meet them,
Yes.
Yeah.
the reaches.
Right. So you
Guardians Rise.
teleported to the Elder
Yeah.
Haven Reaches, and then
and that's where we were showing off the boat and
We
dipping
did
it in the demon ichor.
So
We have teeny tiny demon ichor loaded on it.
Yeah.
So we decided to be careful.
Yeah. And,
Yes.
and then you finished it, the paint job.
Um,
Like a 30 something.
so
And then you guys,
So look at 19, yeah.
you
mhm.
and you had researched the ghost ship,
He did.
I didn't. No, I was training.
or you had. Oh no. You
I-
Oh
had-
no, I had people doing it.
Yeah,
you both
yeah.
asked people to do it. I
Yeah.
can't remember who
Yeah,
was
I
successful.
failed. I just got 3 pieces of lore.
And what were those again? Do you remember?
let's do a refresh.
Yeah.
I know you don't have your notes. too.
Well, I don't have my
One
my
time
PC, but I got my notes. So there was the Sea Devil's Curse, once captained by a giant pirate named Ager. During the glory days of the Giant Empire, he was good friends with Helblinti,
Blindy.
who was slain during the initial uprising of the small folk against the giants. Iger took his ship and just nobody ever saw him again. It passed out of history at that point. But still, today there are occasional documented sightings of a ship that may match its description that appears and disappears in Dark Nights. Arcane scholars believe that it must be a ship that size in order to not be seen all the time. It must be slipping in between the planes.
Right.
The most recent sighting has it north of the Iron Republic in the vast expanse. And there was some other info that somebody got from the Giants. I don't know who got this info.
Yeah, you got some
That was
information.
Kamiko?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
Kamiko.
yeah.
And it was about the treasure.
Forniat's fortune,
Mhm.
which said to be able to master death, which might mean immortality or the power to dole out death, or to call the dead back to life, but it's been missing since the fall of the Giants. And the only hint to its whereabout is that a pirate group that plundered Vonenheim is known as the Vornit's Backs.
Sure.
And it's all kind of tied up also. Like part of Fornheim's fortune?
Forniat.
Forniat's fortune is the coin that Mara has.
Right. Okay.
So that's where we
Fortunately.
stand. So one of our plans was to call on Genbu, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so maybe ask him if he's seen the ghost ship or if he knows about the ghost ship, and then
You guys have actually talked about this ship with Genbu before,
right.
and he did tell you that he knew of it,
Mhm.
but it's not like he was tracking its whereabouts or anything
Okay.
like that.
Well, that's one plan, Dale. Already.
No, well, I mean, don't
Okay.
close the door before we're done talking about
Okay,
it.
okay.
He knows of it.
Yeah.
Maybe we can ask him to keep an eye out for it,
Yeah.
or to ask him to reach out and ask people if they've.
And
Because I don't know
also,
what his reach is.
he's
to know.
That's true.
he's always around. Maybe he knows a bit more about predicting its path, or if
Yeah.
it has a.
Maybe you can reach out to Genbu and just ask him
Okay, I'll reach out.
what his.
Yeah, man. Dude.
I don't know if that showed up on the screen or not.
I don't care if it did.
Totally did.
Maybe you can reach out to Genbu and ask him for help and see what he can offer us.
Okay.
So are you just going to try and meditate and establish a connection that way again?
Okay, I'll have to go somewhere quiet so somebody doesn't disturb me.
We should go. You know what we should do? We should go toward our plan B, and then while we're out on the ocean, you can try meditating.
Well,
yeah, I mean, out on the ship would be a good place to try to connect with
where
Genbu
did you?
because it is.
Where's his tail?
I didn't take it off.
It's in that natural ocean
I
environment.
didn't touch it. Promise.
Makes sense.
Are we gonna head toward where the ship was last seen? In
I was-
what is it? The vast expanse.
Mhm.
Well, I wanted to go while she's meditating. I want to go see if we could find this merfolk again. That was our plan B.
Yes.
We can kind of do A and B at the same time here.
I know you would want to do that. Okay.
Where did we see the merfolk?
It was
Near-
a encounter you had while sailing from the continent of Freydin over to
Kame.
Kame Island.
Mhm. And we traded with them.
Yeah.
We did.
So it was somewhere
Got
along
some
that
good
route.
stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, we can kind of head in that direction then.
So you go down to the ocean, you cast the drum and kiss out into the sea, speak the command word, and it balloons out to its side, or its normal size, rocking there on the waves back and forth a little bit violently, but then eventually settling. The group of you make
And
your
we
way
have
out
to
to the
lock
boat.
down. Where
one
did
way
we
or another.
decide we were gonna put the demon Ivar?
I think it's in one of the holes, like lashed tight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't we build a special containment area
We
for it?
could have.
If not, we can
We
secure
talked
it.
about
You
it.
have carpenter's tools,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
it's
we
easy
talked
enough
about
to
it.
do.
Yeah, I mean it's fair enough to say that like you guys have secured the demon Ico. That's fine. We don't have to play that.
We
off.
got a sailor
Okay.
here who knows how to do
Mhm.
this stuff.
A sailor and a shipwright.
Yes.
You get out onto the boat
Killer.
and begin to sail out into the ocean. Mara, as you try and take some time to meditate and connect with Genbu, I need you to roll that wisdom check at advantage because of your situation out in the ocean, open ocean.
Does she have to roll?
She does have to roll. She's not proficient in wisdom checks.
You get advantage on this.
11.
11.
Can I bend luck?
Yeah, you can.
Alright, well, more.
No, it's
It's a D4.
Oh,
I
right,
get
right,
to
right.
add a D4 to her.
So you can see Mara sort of. Mara, where would you be
4.
meditating?
So
Probably
15.
up in the crow's nest.
Yeah, you see Mara meditating up in the crow's nest, and you can tell even from down here, like she's having trouble focusing.
It's a 4.
So it's 15.
So it's 15.
Focus
total.
your wild magic energies out there into the world, and Mara, a calm comes over you, and all you can hear all of a sudden, it's like the world becomes silent except for the sound of the ocean waves, and then you feel that connection with the vast presence that is the great black turtle Gembu, and his presence fills your mind, and you know that you are connected.
It's good to talk to you again, Gembu.
Whoa, hey, Mara, you did it again. And this time it feels like a better connection. Are you in a better reception area or something?
Got 3 bars.
Well, I had a little help from my friends.
Well, what's up?
Well, my friend,
Kamiko was doing some research for you, I know.
yeah, she was very helpful. We
That's
were
good, man.
really appreciate your help one more time. Do you remember when we talked about that weird ship?
Oh
That
yeah.
ancient
Oh
ship?
yeah, I remember. The really big one.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
huge one. We were wondering how many times you've seen it, and if we could kind of maybe figure out a pattern to where we could find it again. If you had that info.
Well, I've been swimming these oceans for a long time, man. Really, as long as I can remember. I've only seen this ship a handful of times. But let me think. Give you a check. You can like, since you're so connected with his mind, you can sort of feel the thought process that he's going through. He's trying to connect one location to the ship, and after a few moments' time, he comes back to you and just says, "I don't know, man. It's really been all over the place. But if you've got a bit of a heading, any sort of information, maybe I can pinpoint it a little bit. I don't know, man."
We know that the last sighting was in the vast expanse.
Well, that's something. That's a much smaller area of ocean than, the entire
Sounds way
world,
big.
man.
Wait, do we know when that sighting was?
Yeah. And it would have been relatively recent, like within the past 5 years.
Then the last known sighting was Kamekame Island, actually.
Oh, that's true. Okay, before the last one that we saw was the vast expanse.
Well, I mean, that's a much smaller area of the ocean than, the entire ocean. So I can go take a look.
Well, we appreciate that. And are you able to contact me? Or will I have to meditate to you again?
He just you can hear him going, He's like thinking really hard about it. You know what? I think I can work something out, man. Don't you worry about it. I'll get in touch.
You got my back. Thank you. We really, really appreciate it.
You got it, dude. I'm always happy to help. And you feel the massive presence that is the black turtle fade from your mind after that.
I mean, he was sending you messages in dreams, so I feel like he can contact you.
He'll figure something out.
Well, it's not so shocking. Okay, so I head down and tell them what he told me.
Well, that's good. At least he'll keep his eyes open for us.
Yeah.
That's one person who's helping us out.
Anyone know how we're gonna track down these mer people?
They kind of came to us last time when we were in the area.
Did we catch their names?
I didn't.
Can't remember. It's a long time ago.
I don't think you got a name from them.
Okay.
There was one main name. It started with the L, but I can't think of it.
Oh, you're right. There was one.
One main guy.
So if we did get their name, we could use the scrying thing.
Get
We don't need a name to scry.
Yeah. Also, we don't need to scry on them. We
a market.
We know kind of
Know where they live.
yeah. I feel like if we scry on the merfolk, we just see, they're in some water.
Well, I mean, you can get maybe you can, I don't know.
Oh, but it's a name I had to make up on the fly, so it's not in my notes. Yeah.
Gloriana Heartwood. Captain Consort.
Can't believe you're not
so
prepared for this.
You're going to head off in that direction. Why don't the group of you each make a survival check?
Luska.
Survival check.
That's
Luska,
it.
that sounds
Luska the mermaid.
There it is, right there.
I had it in my notes.
Nice.
Survival.
Yeah,
Sorry, we're
survival
all
check.
doing. Why are we doing survival?
Is that her?
Who?
Just to
Oh,
sort of
it's you.
search
Okay.
that general area of the ocean as
Okay.
you proceed in that direction.
12 for me.
How do I get to all my...
18. for me.
Okay.
Ah,
There.
there. Okay, thanks.
So
These new dice. 4.
4. Okay.
I rolled for myself and Biako.
Bianco wouldn't be part of this, I don't think.
You would not?
Probably not.
Darn, because he got a natural 20. I got a 13.
13. Okay.
No,
Um,
you got the natural 12.
You get back into you get back into the section of the ocean where you recall seeing the mermaids, and you sort of go back and forth in that area trying to find the specific location where you encountered them, and unfortunately you don't run into anything on the surface. So maybe Mara starts to begin to dive in that area. How deep would you like to go diving down?
You have your cloak, right?
Well, and I can polymorph and go with you.
Yeah, come with me. I'd feel better about that.
Okay, I
So,
will
let's go down.
polymorph into a
Giant crab.
dolphin.
Okay.
We want to go down about 20, 25 feet. I
That's
think
not
I
very
can only go
much.
30.
I can go farther than that.
I think you have a swim speed of 30.
Yeah.
I think you can go deeper than that.
Yeah, you could certainly go deeper than that.
How deep is the ocean where we are?
I mean, very. Like, you're out in the middle of the ocean
Right.
at this point. So,
How well? I
if
mean,
you want to go down to the bottom,
do we know before we head off though? Do any of you guys who are more learned than me know anything about merpeople civilizations? Like, have you read about it in a book? Maybe.
I'll try. I can make a history check, I guess.
Yeah, I can try.
history or arcana, I'd say, might do it.
14 on a history check.
Oh, I don't know anything. That's a 1 in history.
What about you, Mara? You could roll a check, right? Because you have history with the ocean.
Okay.
I think I would
I wouldn't
say
roll because I wouldn't have absolutely no.
Yeah.
they don't exist in the beaches.
So we're doing Arcana.
Or
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 history.
history, whatever's higher.
It's the same. It's a 16.
16? Okay. So I think that Mara and Thaddeus, the two of you would know it from different sources. Thaddeus, you probably read a romance novel about this.
Oh, well, we searched one.
Yeah,
Gloriana,
from
always,
Gloriana,
that's her
probably.
research.
And Mara, you would know this from being a sailor. But merfolk tend to build their settlements in like undersea caverns or like mazes of coral, the ruins of sunken ships or cities, and sometimes they'll carve structures directly from the seabed. But pretty much all of those things would be at the bottom of the ocean.
Well, then I guess we have to go all the way down.
Okay.
Should
Dark
we all
down
go?
there. How are we going to make light?
Can I polymorph myself into something that sees?
Like an anglerfish or something?
I want to be something that's a little more.
Pretty.
Maybe a shark. I don't know if a shark can see in the dark.
You get quite a ways down, and the darkness begins to envelop you. And as you get down to those depths, you start to see little lights pop up around you, actually. And as you get
Problem solved.
nearer to them, you see that they are actually these incredibly large, like maybe 15 foot in diameter, fluorescent jellyfish that just are floating throughout the water. And they have these long trailing tentacles that extend down towards the depths. And they seem to be getting more and more populous the deeper you go.
Not getting hungry there, are you?
Can I do
For a little snack.
Can you do a dolphin sound?
a dolphin sound? No. Well, dolphins have echolocation,
Mm-hmm.
so I could. I don't know how far that would allow me to see in front of me, but
What does a dolphin sound like?
It is a dolphin stat block.
I was gonna say, can I do like a survival check to see if there are signs of merfolk
Yeah,
habitation
I
or
would say so.
presence? But I'd have to use the dolphins.
with the
stat.
dolphin, you have a wisdom of +1 for survival.
Damn. Minus harmony is much higher. Can I use Strikes of Chaos as a dolphin?
No, it's not on their stat block.
It's my personal feature. He said I can.
Okay,
I'm gonna allow it.
sure.
Better. 15.
With a 15, especially since dolphins have blind sight of 60 feet,
Yeah.
just around this sort of open water, there's not necessarily any signs of habitation or anything like that. However, I think that maybe just on the edge of your blind sight, you would feel a presence that is not one of these jellyfish. However, dolphins can actually only hold their breath for 20 minutes, according to D&D Beyond. So you are getting towards the edge of your breath limit down here.
Okay, so do you want to go up and catch a quick one and
Mm-hmm.
okay.
So go back up. Take a breath. Go back down.
Go back down. It only takes you maybe 5 minutes or so to get back down to where you were. And at this point, when you head towards the presence that you sensed, where was it on this list? There it is. You can see Mara, you can see this, and Harmony, with your blind sight, you also get a good echolocation view of this. There's a figure, appears to be a female mermaid of sorts, with sort of a long, scaly fish tail that tapers out into a beautiful blue fin. And she has this like long pink hair, you know, that flows backwards. And she has sort of sitting on her shoulder an orange octopus with these blue rings on it.
It's incredible.
And she seems to be just sort of like inspecting the jellyfish around her. And roll a perception check for her. She spots the two of you over in the ocean and begins to swim in your direction.
I swim in a circle
You
around
can't
Mara.
talk to her, so I'll have to talk to her. So I'll hail her and make the greetings and introductions.
Okay. Let me switch the music real quick.
If she speaks English, I don't speak Mermish.
Common?
Yeah.
Common.
Maybe she speaks uncommon.
Wonder if she can speak with animals.
She tried to
More
murmur.
folk stuff.
Murmur.
She swims up to you and like begins to like look at you, and especially Mora, because you just look like a dolphin at this point. And she opens her mouth and, speaking in common, says, "Well, who are you? And what are you doing down this deep? I must say, I don't see many people like you in this area of the water."
No, it is very unusual, but you have beautiful environment here with all these jellyfish that are glowing.
Yes, I was just looking at them. Aren't they incredible? Look at the way that they glow and the way that their tendrils just drift down. It's astounding, isn't it?
It really is. Someone should really paint this.
You said it broken.
Where's the sheep?
I tried.
Would you like to come take a look with me?
Smack, smack.
Well, we have limited time, but we really, where are the rest of your people?
Oh, I'm a bit of a loner. It's just me. My name's Delphine, by the way, and she sort of extends a hand towards you.
Hi, and I introduced Harmony and myself and explain about her
Oh,
weirdness.
oh, I see. I assumed maybe she was an animal companion, like my friend Conch here. And she points to the octopus. And the octopus kind of raises a tentacle and waves it at you.
Okay. Oh.
And then just like suckers its way over to the other shoulder.
We're really scouts for a mission, and I asked her about the ship and see if she's seen it and all that.
Well, I can't say that I have ever seen a ship like the one that you described, but I would certainly love to. It sounds very intriguing. One of my favorite things is swimming about the oceans and just finding as many different things as I can find.
I can see that about you. Could you point us in the direction of some more merfolk?
Well, no, like I said, I left my colony a long time ago. I've always been a bit of a loner. But, you know, there is a beautiful coral reef nearby. If you and your friend would like to see it, I could take you down to there.
It sounds spectacular. Let's go.
So
You
yeah,
might find shiny things.
she begins to swim down in that direction, and then it occurs to her, and she says, "Wait, where did you come from? Why are you out in the middle of the ocean?"
Well, I'll explain that we're on a mission and who we are and a bit about our past and hopefully get her on our side.
Do you mention that you have friends up above the water? But if you have friends, they should come down here too. This reef is truly astounding.
Well, they can't swim underwater, you see.
Oh, but I can fix that. Let's go! And she begins to swim up instead.
Oh boy.
So the group of you,
Can I actually? Do you want us to have been trying Becca's plan?
Yes.
While all
I was
this
going
is
to say
happening?
that once we had
oh
a say.
jeez,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. This is beautiful.
I've heard a bit about this plan actually.
Have you? Oh.
This is the one thing I told him.
This is
Okay.
the one I heard about.
So, as you know, Ethan, yeah, we're going to pull out the, what's that thing called? The crystal ball of scrying and
Who had it?
I think it's in the bag now.
probably just the
Okay.
bag, yeah.
Yeah.
And then let Byako attune to it.
I did some thinking about it. What's Byako's intelligence?
Why did you have to ask that? Really high, even.
You didn't get an answer, did you?
Now, do you want his street smarts or his intelligence?
What is his intelligence score?
3
Okay.
Oh, it's
Well,
his modifier or his score.
minus 4 for
Okay.
his modifier.
Oh, okay.
in that case, I think Moonlight Sparkle might have to. Because Moonlight Sparkle's intelligence is 10.
Yeah,
Wait,
you
though,
first-
but can you communicate enough with Moonlight Sparkle
We
that
have a
you can...
telepathic communication with him.
But what is that communication like? Will you be able to know
excuse me.
what...
It just
Speak with animals.
says telepathic communication with whatever I conjure with Fine Steed.
I feel like that means you can telepathically command it, but what can he, she? What can she tell you?
Speak with
For
animals.
that matter,
Okay.
Yeah.
why not Pinky?
That's
Have a
also.
telepathic link
no.
Do we want to give Pinky a
Pinky-
crystal ball?
I
to
feel
see?
like Pinky would be able to communicate better what they see.
All it says is, while the mountain is within 1 mile of you, you can communicate with it telepathically. That's all it says.
Right.
Okay, so when you put the ball in front of Byako, this is what happens.
Alright, I'm ready for this.
Byako sits down and sort of looks at it as it begins to roll slightly across the deck. And then he puts his little haunches up in the air, wiggles his tail, and then leaps on it.
Oh no.
It like rolls across the deck a
Oh,
little bit, and
no.
he runs across the deck chasing it, pouncing constantly on this ball,
So
just
I-
trying to get it to hold itself.
No, stop, no. I'll like grab the ball from him. Like, okay, nice
And
try.
he just kind of sits down, and his little tail is still going.
Yeah, okay. Okay, well, I'll find something else for him to play with, but, good try. Excellent try.
After that little escapade, a long, flowing, pink-haired, blue-skinned form appears above the waves, and you see the sort of innocent face of a mermaid woman staring up at the ship of the drowning kiss, and she sees the two of you up there, and she says, "Yoo-hoo! I like the picture on your sail."
My blowout.
Thanks. Do we see like Harmony or Mara here?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
shortly
follow.
after
Okay.
her, you see
Okay.
Harmony's dolphin face come up, and then Mara pops up.
And I'm just like,
Well, greetings. I'm Sir Thaddeus Hammerlock. This is
I'm Zan.
Chant.
Should I? Yeah, I'll drop polymorph.
Okay.
Once we're at the surface.
When you do that, she turns to you and says, "Oh, I love the color of your skin.
I love the color of your hair.
It's beautiful."
Thank you.
And then she looks back up to the two of you and says, "I'm Delphine, and this is Conch," and she points to the octopus. And the octopus has basically changed its colors so that it is, if you weren't looking for it, it's camouflaged. Like it just matches the color of the ocean behind her. And she says,
I
"Oh,
thought it might be camouflage like in her hair.
I mean, sort of, yeah, like
There you
it's
go.
trying to hide, but if you
Yeah.
look carefully for it, it's there." And she says, "Oh, don't mind Conch. He gets a little shy around men." I was about to show your friends down to a lovely coral reef. Would you like to come?
Does this coral reef have a city in it, perchance?
A city? No, but there was something very interesting down there.
Well,
All right, sure, let's go.
how do we? You know,
We can't
my friend and I
exactly
can't
gather.
swim very well.
Oh, yes, of course. I was coming up to take care of that. And she begins to wave her
Raise an
hands
eyebrow.
as if to cast a spell.
Cast it on me too.
Okay. And
The opposite of what he was following.
halfway through the spell, you shout that, and it's just in time for her to like course correct. And when the spell completes, you feel the air you're breathing gets a little bit heavier. And she says, "There you go. Now you should be able to breathe down there."
All right.
Yeah,
I'll
but
dive
wait,
in.
you have
I'll
gills?
dunk under and try it.
Does
Yeah,
she
I mean,
make you have
the
gills?
water fills your lungs. I think you've had.
No, it's
water
breathe
breathing
on
cast
water,
over
water
before.
breathing or something. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll poke my head back up and be like, "Don't worry, it works."
And I'll ask Delphine, Delphine, how long does this last?
Oh, for a long time. Yeah, 8 hours.
Oh,
8
wow.
hours.
Oh, okay.
All right.
That
I'll,
should be
let's
perfectly
Give
fine.
it a shot.
I'll dive in.
Okay.
Should we take our armor off first?
I probably should take.
I'm like, wait, Thaddeus, wait.
Wait, no, what?
Then I'll start like undoing my armor.
What? Okay.
Because we'll just sink.
Yeah, we were
We
wearing
can't,
like
we
heavy.
can't swim up.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will doff my armor.
I'll help him.
Yeah,
This
and then I'll
sounds
help
like
with
one
yours.
of the craziest things we've ever done, too.
I don't think so.
And
We haven't gotten to Plan D yet.
Or, yeah.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We don't want to get there.
No.
As you descend down into the water, past all of the jellyfish, and all the way down to the sea floor deep below, you do indeed see this beautiful coral reef that is just laid out across the floor. And it is just all forms of colors. Those of you who have, I guess you'd have to have a light source. or
Yeah, I
something.
mean I've got my sword with me still.
By the light of Thaddeus' sword, you can sort of see the colors of this reef, and it's just a rainbow of color. But amidst all of this rainbow of color, there seems to be a statue of something that is just like wedged in between some of the coral, and she begins to swim towards that. Look, this is the interesting thing that I was talking about, and she swims down to it and begins to sort of like show it to you.
I'll follow.
Sure, yeah.
The group of you get close, and it looks to be a white marble statue, and it's covered in barnacles, and it's got like places where seaweed is like growing off of it and stuff like that, or like algae or something like that. But behind all of that, you can see that it is a white marble statue of a tiger, and carved into the forehead of the tiger is the keen symbol for king.
Oh. So it's a statue for
And she
Yakko.
says, "Isn't this interesting? It's fascinating. I found it down here and I was just wondering what it might be."
It looks like my tiger.
You have a... Wait, what's a tiger?
It's this thing, and I point back at the statue.
You see, we have creatures like this underwater, but they have tails and fins. We call them sea lions.
I see. Yeah, when we go back up, I'll introduce you.
Oh, that would be lovely. And then she sort of looks back up towards the ship in that direction, and then she says, "But I think that might be a little bit difficult." And the group of you, as you now look up, you can see that there is a swarm of these giant jellyfish that has descended over the reef.
Oh boy.
And I guess let's roll initiative.
Oh boy. All right.
This was on my random encounter table for way back when you were exploring this area of the sea before.
Oh, great. Okay.
I have a feeling you'll make quick work of some
Oh.
jellyfish, but
My AC is down pretty low.
That's probably the highest AC. No, not AC. Initiative that I've rolled in a really long time. And guess what? Wild Magic is primed.
Of course.
I got the hot dog song stuck in my head. Mm-hmm.
Everyone rolled it, huh?
I have to find my jellyfish
It's,
monster that I made.
For my kids' show that's on
Oh.
Disney.
I don't know.
Precisely. Indubitably.
Indubitable.
Indubitably.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright. The jellies, with their +1 to initiative, have a 20.
Fantastic.
I still rolled higher.
Did you?
Yeah.
Right.
And in fact, Harmony, you are up first.
Perfect.
So you can see that there are about 10 of these giant jellyfish that are just descending down slowly.
How many of them can I fit in a 60-foot cone?
Oh, let's roll d6. 4.
Do you really want to do that?
Well, why not?
Sure, okay, whatever.
She's learned from her mother.
I see. Fine, just take them out all in one go.
I
Fine.
mean,
Might as well make quick work of them so we can get on with our business.
exactly.
Alright.
Is this one that can scale? Hold on. Oh, I need to actually open the book. I'm casting Prismatic Spray, but I'm trying to see if it scales or not. I don't know.
I don't recall that
If
it
I
does.
cast it at a higher level. I'm gonna need the
I
book
might be
anyway. No. Okay, so I'll just cast it at a 7th level. Prismatic Spray. And get 4 of them. God, it's been a long time since I've cast this. For each target, roll a d8 to determine which color ray affects it. Okay, so there are 4. I will roll 4d8. Okay, so the first one is 7.
Okay.
So it needs to make a save. This is a dexterity save.
Dexterity save is 16. Fail.
Fail. So it's blinded, and then at the start of
Oh,
what? What?
never mind.
It's at
Do
the,
they see?
It has blind sight, so it's actually okay.
Because it doesn't have
Oh,
eyes.
It
Anyways.
needs to make a wisdom saving throw at the start of my next turn.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter because it's blind. Oh, but no, it does matter because if it fails its wisdom saving throw at the start of my next turn, then it's transported to another plane.
Oh,
Okay.
that one. Yeah, okay, great.
Just remember that for me.
Yeah.
Next
Okay.
one.
Next one
Plane of Earth. It's like,
is green, so it's poison damage.
nice.
Let's con save.
Well, it's everything. Everything makes a dex save.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
They all
fail.
make dex saves against this. And I just have to roll roll
They
10
all
d6.
fail.
Because your save is like 22 now, right?
23.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Thank you. Woohoo! Alright. Oh, not as wait.
That's okay.
This isn't
It's about
fire.
average.
This isn't fire though, so. Thought I saw another 5 in there.
Fire would not be good.
Underwater. 10,
Would it do like half, I think, or something?
20,
Probably.
32 poison damage.
Okay.
Um,
Right. Okay.
and then the third one is fire damage, which because of my feat ignores resistance. So does that mean even if it's underwater, it's still full damage?
I think so.
Cool. And I can re-roll.
See, this is D&D. It makes no sense.
I think just all 1s or 2s, right?
Yeah, 1s or 2s.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna switch this to 2 and 2. And this is also
Ooh, that's above
2.
average.
That's a lot of dice. Okay, 10, 20, 35. 35 fire damage.
Okay.
And then the last one is lightning damage. Okay, what am I doing? Okay. 10, 20, 31 lightning damage.
Nice.
One lightning.
Cool.
And that's,
Let's see.
that's all of them.
There it is.
Okay, so
Good damage.
flash of color illuminates the underwater area.
Well,
and
I
you
think
can
I
hear-
swim up and I do this first. Like, I'll take care of this, guys.
You can hear Delphine just goes, ooh.
Yeah.
Also, wild magic goes
I
off.
feel like when you crack our knuckles, we just see
Lightning
you do it, but we don't
electrocutes
hear
one.
anything because we're underwater.
Yeah.
And you can see like a little bit of electricity lingers on it for a second as it just sort of cringes there. Fire erupts on one, and even underwater it just alights and burns. Another one of them begins to sort of wither away under the poison. And yeah, that looks like they did not like that.
So they're not dead.
Nope.
Okay, and then wild magic goes off.
That's a little thing.
Oh shit.
Must be jalapeno jellyfish.
Let's do 25.
Really that bad?
75 is pretty bad.
Okay.
But this one's just like, oh, this is interesting. It might be bad for some people. We'll find out.
Not you.
No, it'll be bad for me too,
Oh, okay.
but not as bad as the other one.
The group of you watch as when Harmony casts the spell and the magic erupts out around the jellyfish. Some of the water around Harmony begins to freeze and solidify into these tightly packed snowballs that just begin to swirl around her in a flurry.
That's interesting.
Why is it not coming up when I search for it? Snowball, it's called Snowball.
It's Snowball Swarm.
Is it a wizard spell or something?
Yes.
Huh.
Oh, there it is. Snowox is the word I was missing.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone is still pretty much around you. So why don't the group of you all make a dexterity saving throw?
Everyone gets a plus
Against
5.
my spell save DC?
A plus something to this. Plus 5. Why do I bother?
Oh, what saving throw now?
Me
Dex.
too.
Dexterity.
Oh, I don't have to roll really for this.
Yeah, we know. Mm-hmm.
20.
Wait, really?
You still fail.
Yeah, you do.
Plus 5?
Her DC is ridiculous.
It's 23, so 20 plus 5.
Oh, okay.
And then even if she fails, she takes
Okay.
half damage, but that's a pass. My DC is only 23. And Dex save, yeah. That's a fail for me too.
Okay. Well, the group, do you want to roll the damage for this?
Sure.
It is 3d6.
That's not too bad.
Oh, there was this cold damage.
Oh, and I rolled really low.
Below
so
average.
6.
So it's 6 cold damage if you failed, half if you succeeded.
Or
druid
none
friend
if you're
here.
a rogue who succeeded.
Your druid friend here managed to succeed, so she only takes
Harmony.
she only takes half of that. And as she's being pelted by snowballs, she just says, "What? Ow! Ow! These! Ow!"
What did I get any of the jellyfish in that radius too?
Yeah, I think you would. Fail. We'll say you got 2 of them here.
Mara gets out her bat. Or be like,
Yeah, start hitting them. Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
oh, you know, with her around, you gotta be prepared for everything.
And then with my movement, I'm gonna find a place in the coral to kind of hide.
Okay.
Just tuck myself away.
The jelly.
I'd like to swim out of the snowstorm if possible.
Easy enough. I mean, it disappears after that one turn.
Oh, okay.
Yep. The jellies then, on their turn, being next in the initiative, swim down. Basically, 2 of them next to each one of you. Actually, though, Harmony, you swam away. They can't quite get to you.
Yeah.
So 3 next to Thaddeus and
Tucked
3
into
next
the
to
coral.
Zant.
Okay.
And then, I forget how these guys work. Right. They're going to make a bunch of attacks. So Thaddeus,
Mm-hmm.
their bonus to hit is 6. So that's 25 and 8.
They will miss.
That is 17 and 8.
Wait, are these at advantage?
Nope.
Oh, okay. The 8 misses.
But the 17 hits.
17 hits because I took some armor.
And then that is 22 and 14.
Both hit. So 4 hits.
4 hits total. So you take 6 times 4 is
24.
24 bludgeoning damage as they wrap their tentacles onto you. And then there were 4 hits.
Yeah. Am I grappled or restrained right now?
You are grappled by them,
Okay.
and you take 80 poison damage.
80?
Yep.
Holy
These
shit.
things, their tentacles just like grapple onto you and latch on, and you can feel the poison begin to instantly course through your veins because there's 4 of them.
So, how many,
And then you need to make
jellyfish are there?
a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Sorry.
There are 3 around him, 3 around Zant, and 2 around everyone else.
So there's
10
11,
total.
10? Okay.
That's a 17 on the con
Okay,
save.
you pass. But you can feel with the poison that's coursing through their veins, there are some other nasty effects. Like your body begins to like, you can feel like the electrical impulses in your body are not reacting well to this poison.
Oof.
Jeez, I think we invited these when we could have the first time.
Yeah.
Well, there weren't going to be that many that time.
Oh,
Zant,
yes.
big rolls here.
Well, I mean, I have low AC right now, so
19 and 23.
does it?
18 and 11.
The 11 misses.
And 11 and 22.
4 hits.
Okay. So you're going to take the same amount of damage as Thaddeus,
Okay.
which was 24 plus 80.
So 104.
Unless you have, no, you don't have resistance to poison.
Do not.
Oh shit. That's a lot.
Yeah, I'm almost dead.
So am I. I can't take another round of this.
I'm glad I swam away.
Mara, 2 misses. And there were 2 jellyfish by you. Another 2 misses unless a 15 hits you.
No.
Okay. They rolled really bad against Mara. And then against your druid friend
No, not the druid friend. Oh no.
here, 1 hit.
Oh, okay. Maybe she.
So she is wrapped up in the tentacles and takes. She goes unconscious.
Oh,
Aw.
jeez.
Yikes. This turned south really quick.
That's the jelly's turn, though.
Thank God.
Oh, actually, one of you, your choice, can take off 26 damage from you because the one that took lightning damage was actually kind of like frozen in place.
What do you got?
I have 38.
That's exactly how much I have.
Well, what about
Really?
the one that attacked? What's her face?
Uh,
Delphine.
Okay, yeah, you can
Yeah.
We can do that. That's
Let's
fine.
do that.
Let's do that.
So she is, she manages to swim out of the way of all of the tentacles. And in fact, on her turn, well, it's not her turn yet. We'll get to that. Then it is Mara's turn.
let's do the
Looks like lightning is the
yeah,
way to go.
the lightning dagger against them.
That can spread, right? If I remember right.
Because it's lightning underwater.
Mm.
What were the rules?
Or no,
about
I
that?
thought it was just like a property of the spell.
No, it's not a property of it.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I know the thunder does.
The thunder step is just an area around you. And you're
Yeah.
moving.
Yeah. All right, use lightning dagger then.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. All right, I gotta roll first, and I don't have my cards. I feel so naked. So that is with. I don't have my cards. I'm gonna find my equipment. Okay.
You can also see that these things move really slowly. So if you can get free, they probably won't be much trouble. Mara, did you make an attack?
Well, we don't have a swim speed
Are
though.
you two?
Yeah,
Like,
we can breathe, but we can't swim.
Yeah.
Like half speed.
I
maybe.
don't have what it's. I think
Yeah,
it's
if you
a
have no
plus-
swim speed,
Is it a
isn't
plus
it?
10
You
or a
move half
plus
speed
11
underwater.
to it?
I think that's
Isn't
To
it
my
what?
roll.
Well, sorry, what?
I'm trying to figure out what I add to my roll because it's not on there.
Dexterity plus proficiency.
Yeah, so plus 11.
All right, so it is a 21.
Yes, hits. So the lightning dagger plunges into the jelly's body, and the lightning erupts from it onto its body and just kind of freezes that one in place. Which one were you aiming for?
Just whichever one's closest.
Okay.
I'm rolling terrible tonight.
You always roll terrible.
Not always. 25 and it's a plus 5. Oh, plus 3. So 28.
Okay. Since that one also took one of Harmony's spell attacks, is enough to
Aren't you glad I started with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. I didn't realize
is
you were
enough
so
to finish
formidable.
that one off. And you watch as it just basically the lightning electrocutes through it, and then it just kind of starts drifting downward, clearly lifeless.
Each foot of movement
Okay,
costs
can I do an
one extra
offhand
foot.
attack?
That would be
Mhm.
half then. You're right.
Okay, so the offhand would be
So
just
your
one.
Half your movement is faster than your
When
swim
do-
speed, then you can get away. But I also have a plan to
It
get
is a
out of
4,
here.
so that's a 9.
Well, you still have to roll to hit it.
Sorry, gosh.
It's been a while since we had combat.
I feel like that's
It is.
every
27.
single time.
Yeah.
37?
27.
27, dang, yes.
Do you want me to
So
reroll?
9 damage, you said? That's fine.
Okay.
Okay. That one that you stabbed into was another one of the injured ones, and it looks like it is, like parts of it are falling off, essentially, at this point.
Okay, so I'm going to use my movement and I'm going to swim away and try to find cover.
Okay. So you kind of swim down towards Harmony.
Mm-hmm.
Xant.
Okay. I can't move, so.
Are you both grappled?
Yes.
Both of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it just one that's doing the grappling, or are you grappled
all
by
4 of them.
4?
Yeah, everyone that hit us is grappled.
Wait, so you're grappled by 2?
By 3.
Yeah, I also have 3.
I have a good spell for this situation.
That makes one of us.
Yeah.
Well, so with Kusanagi, I
Only
get
finish.
disadvantage, correct? What's the
Yes,
You might,
because
weapon
it's a
types?
long
you might not need to.
Well, my
Okay.
turn's coming up first, so.
These
well,
things don't look like they'd be hard to hit.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it anyways. So I'll do 3 swings with Kusanagi. I'm also going to do second wind to heal, and we'll see what that gets me.
Okay.
So first attack is a 16 to hit,
Are you rolling
Hits.
at advantage?
disadvantage.
Oh.
Okay, second attack is another 16,
Hits.
and oh,
Oh.
that's a 27.
Mm.
Okay. Yep. So we will do.
This is one of those that has
It does
not
go
been
to
hit
the
yet.
other.
I'll do.
What?
Oh, okay. Are there any of them next to me that have been hit?
Oh yeah, we'll say that one of them next.
Okay,
The
I'll go for
lightning
that one
damage
first.
does spread.
First attack is
From thunder
13
step
damage?
Or
No, from the
Oh.
lightning one.
Okay, that one is dead.
Okay.
So there's
Another
only 2
target
grappling
within
ones.
20
2
feet.
more attacks. That is
When he's done, we'll
28 on
Okay.
on one of them. then I will second wind heal myself.
Good memory.
That's good.
Surprisingly good memory.
I know, I don't have my
And-
cards with me, so.
Oops, I just backed out.
I think
There we go.
that's
Yeah.
all I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The one that you hacked into that you didn't kill, you took a big chunk out of it though. It is looking
Good.
damaged.
Hey Ethan.
Yep.
It says on a hit with Gregorian, lightning jumps to another target within 20 feet. Make a new attack roll against the
Forgot
second
about
target.
Yep.
And roll damage as if
I
it
feel
were
like
another
we've-
dagger attack,
I feel like
except the
we've never done
damage
that
is
before.
lightning damage.
No, I don't think so.
So yeah, you can make it leap to one of the ones that is grappling Thaddeus and
You have to
Xanth
roll
if you want.
to attack again.
Do I really now?
You do though.
Oh.
I mean, you
no.
barely
You'll be
do,
fine.
but there's natural ones that are possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So it's gonna be 5 plus 11, 16.
Hits.
And then it's just dagger damage. But it's it's considered lightning damage.
Okay, so it's just the regular damage,
Yeah.
not
Mhm.
Yeah.
6.
6. Okay. Xanth, there was nothing more on your turn?
Nope. I used bonus action. Action. I don't have movement, so I think that's everything.
Okay. Byakko is up on the ship or
Dark
down
is on the
with
ship. He is not playing with the crystal ball because that'd be a bad cat. But he is waiting
you? He's like looking down over the edge
Yeah.
nervously.
at the water,
Thaddeus.
talking to the bird.
Okay, I'm just gonna cast a spell he's not cast before, which is Destructive Wave.
Okay.
A burst of divine energy ripples outward from me. Each creature I choose within 30 feet of me, which I assume is all of them,
Yeah, pretty much.
must succeed on a Constitution saving throw.
Well, Con is their best save. We'll see how they do. 20. How many are living actually? 8 at this point.
Okay, so one success,
22.
2 successes.
Jeez, I'm rolling really high. 25. 15.
Okay.
How many was that? 4?
That's
Yeah.
4.
4 more. Okay, that's lower. 13.
Okay, 2 fails.
10. We're going
3
down now.
3 fails, 3 successes.
And one more. 13.
Okay, so 4 fails, 3 successes. And then let's see. I need to borrow some.
Did you say 8 were alive still?
Yes.
That was 7 rolls.
One more then. 17.
Oh, that's all. I had to fail.
So 5 fails, 3
I
successes.
need some more d6.
How many do you need?
5 of them.
You want to matching?
Yeah, that's great. All right.
I
Yeah,
matching
get
the ones
'em.
you have.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty
Really
good.
good.
That's a lot of dogs.
Yeah. Let's see.
Above average, as they say.
Hope I'm getting these colors right. Okay, so that is 18 thunder, and let's see, 24 radiant.
Oh, I see why. That's smart.
And how much
Oh,
radiant?
yeah, that's smart.
24 radiant.
Oh, okay. So
That's
why he has blue.
that he is.
Yeah.
This is Thaddeus' 5th level AoE spell.
That's so good. That did a lot of damage.
Thank you.
3 of them die.
Great.
The 3 around me, please.
We'll say yeah, because they're closest to the
Yeah.
epicenter. And then, so in total it was, because they don't have any resistances to either of those, so it would be 40?
41.
41? What does this spell look like?
I think what it says is a burst of divine energy ripples outward from you.
Delphine's gonna be impressed again.
Yeah. Underwater, I guess that would look like little wavy bolts of cold.
Okay. Yeah, just kind of like bluish
Mhm.
energy that shoots
Yeah.
out through the water, and then as it does, each of you feels like a chill as the bolts pass by, and then it connects with each of these jellyfish, and they just like shudder
Yeah.
and vibrate.
And like the force of it hits him first, which is the thunder, and then the radiant of it hits him after.
Yeah,
that.
there's like a final pulse where they illuminate, and then as they do, several of them burst with that pulse of illuminance.
Okay. And then Thaddeus is gonna use his movement to move in the opposite direction as all of these guys.
Okay.
I can go 15 feet.
So that left 5 of them alive, and all of them look very badly injured. Delphine, seeing this happen, basically swims down towards Harmony and says, "I'm gonna hide down here with you now, but you and your friends are amazing."
Thanks.
And just basically, let's see, does she have anything that's actually useful? She just says, I could have tried talking with them, but I guess there wasn't much time for that.
I guess I could have too.
They looked pretty hostile.
Yep, and she just kind of cowers down here with you.
Okay.
Then it is Harmony's turn.
So 5 are left.
Mm-hmm.
What does it look like? Where are they?
3 are on me.
3 are on you.
Yep.
Or 2, actually. I killed one.
Right.
2
so
are on
two
you.
are on you. I think 2 of them were on Delphine, but she swam away from them.
Right. And then where's the last one?
And then I think the last one is probably near-ish to Mara, but Mara, you swam away, so.
Yeah.
Mara's very fast, so.
So, God, it has been a while since we've done combat.
I know.
I
Feels like forever.
Forgot all of the.
I was just thinking how I was sad I never got to use my giant jellyfish monster.
So are all 5 of them within a 20-foot radius
I'd say yeah.
of each other? Then I'm gonna fireball the shit out of them. We're
No
gonna
problem.
do. Well, you said they're all looking pretty,
Underwater.
They're all
pretty
looking
cur-
roughish, yeah.
roughish.
I think it's just the standard fireball's gonna do it probably.
I mean, I want to do a
But you-
5th level fireball.
Yeah.
You've been observing your mother, who just
Yeah.
goes for it, right?
I almost want to say 6th
level
level.
fireball.
I almost want to say 6th level, but I'm at
And the
5th
ocean
level.
is dried up now.
Okay.
So it's just 2 more d6, so 10 d6. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
They all fail.
Great.
Look, they had a chance they could succeed
Yeah, that's
on
true.
a 19 or a 20.
Yeah. Nice.
That's 10 d6, right? Yeah, I'm counting
That's
correctly.
like it. Get 'em. Save me.
And this is a 2, not a 1.
Zant
Wow.
is in the blast, though, because you're still grappled.
Okay.
So I need a dex save from you as well.
Oh,
Sure.
well, I would have okay.
I mean, you could exclude the ones that are grappling him if you want.
No, it's okay.
No, those are the ones I definitely want to hit, though.
I will accept my fate.
Okay.
Imagine that metal man in this one.
That would not have saved me from fire damage.
Would have saved you from the poison damage. though.
Poison damage would have been nothing at that point. Fine. My
But
armor
you
would have
to
helped me
make
too.
the Constitution save.
20, 33 fire damage.
Please
Okay.
avoid 33 fire damage d20.
Is that gonna knock you out?
Yeah.
No.
Nope, I rolled a 1. But I could
Now you have-
roll that.
You
5
have
HP.
resistance to fire damage.
But
No,
I
you don't,
ignore
because-
resistance. I'm sorry. Sorry, I ignore resistance.
33, huh?
5 HP.
Yeah, okay, sure, whatever.
Alright.
Sorry.
Harmony gets Zant the closest
I
he's been
healed
to
quite a
death
bit
since he became a
from-
human.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
My thing, so.
What does it look like as you explode these final
So
jellyfish?
I'm like, you think we're pretty great, huh? Watch this. And I just kind of like stick my fingers out of the hole and send like the bead of fire.
Mhm.
And it kind of like, I feel like I do it while we're talking and you guys are still fighting. So like you explode them and I send this little bead and it's like really hard to see. And then it just goes in the middle and goes. And there are like bubbles and
Like,
shit
yeah,
everywhere.
and there's like seaweed on the coral reef that just goes.
And Xanth's eyes
And
are like,
there are a couple seagulls on the surface of the water, and a little bubble pops up, and then one goes,
Nice.
nice, flies away.
Byakko on the deck of the ship snaps at that seagull and eats it.
yes.
Wow, that went dark. That
Great.
escalated quickly.
Good job, Byakko.
Tastes like
Delphine,
chicken.
Delphine swims out from under the water and says, "You guys are incredible.
I forgot to roll.
I really owe you for that one. I just wanted to come down and see the statue. I had no idea that these were going to attack, but I think I probably could have talked to them if things didn't get so bad so quickly."
Oh, well,
Who has good insight? Somebody got insight.
Not me.
I could. Do you want
Do
me
it, yeah.
What am I
This
saying?
is too sweet to be.
we were assholes.
Well, I believe her. As a fellow animal speaker, I think maybe we could have gone the diplomatic route
I
as
mean,
well.
they looked pretty dangerous, and I mean, look how much they rushed poor Xantha.
Yeah, you helped too, but
Yeah.
you also helped in both ways, so that was good.
I'm gonna ask now that everything's over. I had wanted to ask Sam, what do you think this is doing here?
We are next to Kamikami Island, right? So
Yeah, you're
yeah.
not far from Kamikami.
it probably is an old artifact
Was
from
there a place that was missing the statue when we were there?
I don't think I ever pointed one out or anything
No.
like that, but
No.
It is cool though. Do you want to keep it? I can probably
No,
carry it back up to the ship for
I
you.
don't think we have a need for a marble statue.
I really feel like I owe you guys one at this point. And I can do a little bit of healing, and she kind of rushes over to Thaddeus and to Hunter.
Who's that?
Or to Xant. And Thaddeus, you get 14 plus 16 hit points back.
Okay. Wait, 14 plus 16 or just 16?
Just 16 total.
Okay.
And then Xant, you Xant gets 8 hit points back.
Oh, thank you.
And she says,
Oh.
That's really all the magical capacity I have for today. But if there's anything else that I can do to help you,
Yeah.
you showed me some incredible things.
You don't know where we can find any other merfolk civilizations?
Well, maybe.
Where's your old village that you
Your
mentioned?
colony, yeah.
And she begins to launch into an explanation of how it's very far from here, but she could potentially take you there. But Mara, as she's going into this description of how far away the village is, and how the group of you could potentially go that way if you wanted to, your vision starts to get a little cloudy, a little foggy. And it's as if like something is over your eyes a little bit, and then it begins to fade to more of a blackness, and then you feel as if the water is like rushing around you in a whirlpool, and then the vision returns to you, and you are sitting in the spirit grove in the center of Genbu's shell, where there was that pool with the 2 turtles that sort of circle each other constantly. And all the greenery, and sitting next to the pool on a rock is the sort of like humanoid turtle-like form with the black shell and the short staff that you recognize to be the form that Genbu took when he spoke with you in the spirit world before. And he says, "Come on over here and sit down, dude. I got a little bit of information for you, man."
Wow, that was fast.
Well, it has
timing.
been. It's been a few days.
Yeah.
You've been sailing and searching for a few days.
But couldn't you have done this like 5 minutes ago?
Well, look, I got you this info as soon as I can, man, but I've just found it.
Okay, I'm just teasing. Okay, thank you.
It takes a
Like
little
you
while to
got
search
hurt.
an entire section of the ocean, dude. And he's a little bit annoyed, but it's fine. And he's like motioning for you to take a seat on the rock opposite of him.
Okay.
And as you sit down, you sort of squish into it. Like, you remember these rocks kind of like conform to you a little bit. They're more comfortable than a normal rock would be. And he says, I gotta tell you, man, it was really difficult to find, but honestly, it's actually just sitting there. It's not doing much of anything.
You found the ship?
I found it!
Whoa!
Once I knew where to look, it really wasn't that hard. I mean, the ocean's a big place, but, I've got my sources.
It's very impressive. So
Uh,
where is it?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's sitting down under the ocean, like on the seafloor, in the middle of the vast expanse, man.
Just right in the dead center.
Well, no, not dead center. But I don't know, man. How am I supposed to describe to you where it is? What do you want?
Like a map?
Well, I'll tell you what. You still got that compass,
Yes.
the one that led you to me before.
Mm-hmm.
You use that and come to me, and I'll be waiting here right where this thing is.
Oh,
That's
that's
a
a
good
great
idea.
idea.
That works out well.
Doesn't look like they're going anywhere anytime fast.
Okay. They're not doing anything but just sitting on the bottom of the ocean floor?
I mean, not really. From what I can tell, it looks like there's some creatures moving around on there, but not much going on.
Okay. Well, I'm really impressed that you were able to find this so quickly. I appreciate it very
They
much.
don't call me the Lord of the Oceans for nothing.
I can see that.
It's kind of my domain, man.
Okay, well, do you know this girl named Delphine? That's a mer lady?
What I want to say is, oh yeah, we're tight. Like he just says, Nah, who's that, man?
You don't know. I was gonna say, you know, is she for real?
I like the first answer.
You were tight, man.
Yeah, we're like this.
Okay.
Yeah, we have tea parties every Saturday.
Well, you know,
Okay.
you are the king of the ocean.
That doesn't mean I know everyone in the ocean, man. That's a lot of critters.
Well, you'd remember her. She's, shall we say, special.
All right, I'll take your word for it, dude. I mean, bring her along if you want. Friend of
Yeah.
yours, a friend of mine.
Okay.
We actually may want to do that because she can cast that spell on
I
us
was
again.
just gonna say
Oh,
that.
sorry.
No, it's fine. No, I'm looking at this because I'm like, I wonder if I can make a tank for her with creation so that we can bring her with. This is literally like same wavelength.
So annoying. Okay.
I love her. I don't know what you're talking
Thaddeus
about.
also loves her.
I don't see anything wrong with her. Roll 3.
She cast a spell on you. And
Well,
now you are
she-
hers.
Water breathing.
Yeah, water breathing. Yeah.
Water breathing of love.
I don't trust her.
You
She's
don't have
too
to.
accommodating. Okay, whatever.
I don't trust Pinky.
Yes, I know, Zant.
Pooping all over my bed.
Yes, he's a good boy.
So are you done with your little meeting with Gambu?
Am I done with my meeting with Gambu?
I mean, he's kind of sitting across from you and says, "Is there anything else I can do to help you, man?"
Checking my pockets for make sure I had the compass. Okay,
Hey,
got it.
Wait, it's not a compass, it's a bow.
It's a bow.
yeah, it was a
Oh, yeah.
bow that he fired.
It's right here.
You
It's
pull a
here.
compass out.
It's
It's a real compass.
He's like he
That's
kind
a
of shrugs
rock,
and says,
man.
I mean that's all I got. Oh, but wait, actually, there is one thing I've been wondering lately, man. I mean, it's been 5 years, so I was just kind of curious. But like, are your friends still carrying around the artifacts that have my friend's spirits in them?
Thaddeus is not.
Yeah, I know Thaddeus isn't, but
I still have this.
like there was a gem, and a sword, and a mirror. I think the mirror one's back in the reaches, but
I don't think we're carrying any of that stuff.
Oh, I definitely still have mine.
Well, I'm gonna
I
tell
mean
him.
it's fine if you do. I'm just trying to keep track of my buddies, you know, man.
But-
Oh.
Is it okay?
And I mean, it'd be great to get them out of the
I
artifacts
thought we would
at
have
some
at
point,
least done
but-
that first before we started carrying the shit around. But does that mean they lose their magic if we take the spirits out?
Hmm.
I mean, they're useful as they are, so it's fine. You can totally carry them around. I want to make sure I know where they are, so I don't lose track of some of the great spirits of the Elder Haven reaches, dude.
Okay, I'll double check and see. 5 years is a long time. Who knows what could happen to him.
Sounds good, man. I mean, 5 years is not really long to someone like me, but
Okay, I'll check.
sounds good. Then see you later. And there's like a whirlpool rush of like water around you, and your
I'll never get
vision
used to
begins
that.
to clear again. And it's as if no time at all has passed. Like they're still having the same conversation in front of you.
Okay. So I've got good news.
Huh?
Huh? Huh? What?
Gambu found a ship.
Oh,
Oh!
Oh, great.
where?
We've got.
I told you it was a good idea.
It's the middle of nowhere.
It was my idea to start find the merfolk.
No.
Oh wait,
Gambu
you're
was
right.
my
This is
idea.
a different idea.
Thank you.
Good idea.
Merfolk was also a good idea.
I like
Okay.
the Bianco idea.
So Gambu's gonna move to the ship's location where he found it, and then we're gonna do the compass thing again to find him.
Oh, great.
Cool.
Will
Perfect.
work.
Where is it?
The compass?
No, the ship.
He says it's in the middle of the vast expanse. I didn't
Still?
say where.
Just floating around up there?
Says it hasn't been going anywhere.
Weird.
It's just there on the bottom of the ocean.
On the bottom of the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna have to swim down there.
We could probably use.
Oh, I can help.
Yes.
I do owe you, after all. Like
Are
I was
you,
just saying.
How do you do out of water?
What do merfolk do out of water?
Yeah. I mean, when she took us to a statue, my first thought was, oh god, it's gonna be a prince.
Um,
Legs.
We're gonna have to fight off a sea witch.
She says, "Well, I'm not very
Well,
good
she
at
has octopus.
locomotion up there, but
Ursula.
I mean, I can breathe air if that's what you're asking.
Locomotion? Like you can't mobilize? You're not mobile?
I get a little bit floppy." And she gets really embarrassed. I should say. And she has to kind of like turn away a little bit.
Yeah, good,
Well,
don't laugh
I
at her.
Take care of Flores.
I
Flores
could
in front
make
of her
a
face.
tank out of like crystal. Maybe. If you would prefer to be in water.
Oh, I would certainly prefer to be in water if that's an option.
I mean, right?
So what's this tank for?
For
Oh, where
to
are
bring
we
Delphine
going, by
with
the
us.
way?
But
To the
we're going
vast
underwater.
expanse.
Yeah, but we're gonna have to travel there.
Oh, you want her to come? What? You can't just like follow the ship.
I don't know if she's fast enough.
That's true.
It would be easier
Or
if
just
she
grab
was
onto
just
it, right?
on
Sure,
board
we
with
can do
us.
that too.
I mean, it's
Sparkle
easy. I can,
That's
I
fine.
can cast creation to make,
Flopping all
or
over
I can
the
even
trouble.
use fabricate or whatever to create like a tank on the deck of the ship, and she can just hang out in the water up there. And
Sure. Okay.
I'm not gonna clean that tank.
Well, we do have a fish hold on the ship.
I don't know if it's big enough though.
So is that the plan?
Yeah.
Sure.
Alright. You swim back up to the ship. The group of you make your way back up. Byakko is very happy to see the group of you.
I'm very happy to
arrive.
see Byakko.
He's got a dead seagull on the deck that he is just
Good boy. Good boy, Byakko.
Nice.
It's funny that
Give him-
nobody asked
give
He
him-
me
like he
how
walks
Yes.
up and like drops it off.
Yeah,
at
like
Sam's feet.
a gift. I'm like,
Yeah.
Were they
good
seagulls
boy.
or were they pelicans?
Yeah.
Now I can't remember.
I don't know. He's got
They
a
might have been pelicans. Anyway.
Both. He has both, and I love it.
And then
Six
Harmony,
dragons.
you're going to use creation
Yeah, I'm gonna use creation.
to make like a
Because
crystal
that
tank.
creation doesn't
Well, I've
disappear,
got
does it? Or it
carpenters.
does?
Creation does.
So I'll have to use fabricate. I was reading that here trying to see.
I've got carpenter's tools. I can just make
Fabricate,
her out of
you need the
wood.
materials.
Right, but you have wood.
Like a barrel, a big barrel type.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you,
It would be faster. I can do it in 10 minutes. You'd probably take like 10 hours.
Okay.
But if you have the materials and you bring it to me, I can turn them into a big tank.
Okay.
I don't think you have the materials to do a crystal tank.
I think she's going for like a wooden tank.
Okay.
Well, I did mention crystal before,
Yeah.
but
So
yeah.
she could see out, but
I mean, we're next to Comic Con Island too. We could just go over there and get some.
What?
Slime.
What is there like
Slime
a
and
material component to
trees.
creation that I wasn't thinking about?
It just says that
do lightning
'Cause
on
you
the
can-
sand and make crystal.
raw materials and products.
Oh, there you go. Now
So you
you're
need a
getting
bunch of crystal.
Oh, for
to make
fabricate.
crystal, Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was talking about
Oh.
creation for
Oh,
crystal,
crystal.
but that would have been.
Yeah.
The card doesn't mention that it only lasts for.
No,
whatever.
fabricate is.
No, creation. The card for
Oh.
creation doesn't mention that it has a time limit, which is why I thought the creation was fine. But fabricate we will do because there is no time limit.
It does have stone and crystal is 12 hours.
Yeah. See, that's not on the card.
Yeah,
Is what
yeah,
was my point because I wasn't looking it up in the book. So we'll do fabricate. You have the wood materials. Fuck me. You have the wood that I need, so I can create. No, fabricate
Mm-hmm.
a tank on the deck of the ship
Mhm.
for Delphine.
Easy
There.
enough.
Or
Shut up.
No, I don't know.
No, I want to know what.
you could fabricate a tank out of the Byakko statue. Whatever that's made out of.
Marble.
It was marble.
Yeah,
I could.
that's kind of cool.
You can do that.
Or some coral, or.
Yeah.
Do we want to kill the coral?
Like
to
I
do that,
said, we
or-
could shoot lightning on the sand and make glass.
My God, we have the wood. Let's just make a wooden thing.
Okay.
Alright.
Fine, that's fine.
Do any wild magic checks you need to use.
Right,
do
that's
for
what I
your-
was checking.
What does Delphine
just-
think about Byakko?
What is
Delphine think about
well,
Byakko?
some of you have to kind of like haul her up
Yeah.
onto.
Yeah.
We can do that.
the
We
deck.
have, we have a lot of strength.
And
Yes.
when she gets up on the deck, she's very embarrassed because like she can't really sit upright, so she kind of is like on the ground, like propping herself
Yeah.
up with her arms, but her lower half is just kind of flopped there, and she is sort of like looking around and says, "Oh, so you have a land lion too?
Yeah. And then I
Like
call
mine.
Byakko over and say this, and then I introduce.
A ship lion? A deck lion?
Well, just
A tiger.
Tiger.
Oh,
That's what they're called for us.
is there a difference?"
I mean, you can see it here.
She looks confused and perplexed by that.
Well, you have plenty of time to get to know him.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, so no wild magic triggered. It takes me 10 minutes to cast a spell. And then can I use shape water to transfer water in from the ocean into the tank?
Yeah, easy enough.
Nice.
So you fabricate, so slowly the bits of barrels and things like that form into a
It's just on top,
watertight
it's not.
wooden bathtub of sorts, and then
Well,
use.
you could also just take it with telekinesis and just scoop.
That's true.
It gets way heavier than I think
That's
she could
true.
hold
That's
with
true.
that.
What's the maximum?
Isn't it 1,000 pounds?
A tank of water gets real heavy real
Yeah.
quick.
No, I'll do shape water because
Okay.
that's fancier.
Just slowly pull up the water, fill
Like
it
water bending, like Katara.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Where's
and
your
then
heirloom
once
piece?
Right
Once
here
it's
is my
all full
horse.
and complete, she hops on into the tank. Her octopus friend kind of like suctions up onto her head and gets a good view of everything around. But anytime it sort of catches sight of Thaddeus or Zant, it just camouflages. And she says, "All right, I think I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Okay, we're ready.
This is going to be incredible."
Why don't
Alright,
you
Captain.
insight check her if you're so
Yeah.
concerned?
Roll an
do
insight
it.
check.
I will. I'm +8. Let's see.
Why didn't you just do it?
I know you've got better
Wait.
insight than all of us.
Do you have proficiency in insight?
It's a +8 on here.
But do you have proficiency so you can't roll below a 10?
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you asked
And
us
you're like,
to do
"Oh,
it,
someone
and
else
we're
can
like
do it."
+2.
19, 27.
27. You spend some time, once you get onto the sea, sort of evaluating Delphine and her reactions to things, and there is not a dishonest bone in her body. From
Dislike
the
her
top of
even
her head
more.
down to her fin, she is exactly what she appears on
You
the
know why?
surface.
They don't have bones.
Sure they do.
She
You?
does.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Now the octopus.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the
Is
octopus,
the
on the other hand,
beak
is
technically a... No.
sketchy AF.
Okay.
He
okay.
seems fine too, if a little bit shy.
Okay.
I think the octopus is actually a racking car. by
Mary
mix.
Poppins.
You're probably right. I rolled a 3. There's no way I would know.
So yeah, with its mermaid tank built onto the deck now, the group of you sail off in the direction that the compass points you. Occasionally, as you're sailing across the water, you'll experience sort of a weird phenomenon. Whichever one of you, any of you that are on the deck, will sort of hear strange whispers.
Oh, right.
Just every now and again, like once every day or so, and they're indistinguishable for a while, and then like you'll pick out a few words here and there, and some of them they seem to be like mundane conversations, and then others you'll hear seem to be like sounds of seafaring battle and things like that, like
yeah.
shouted orders and stuff like that.
Okay. Can we like make out any, I don't know,
Useful
yeah,
conversation.
useful conversations or facts or anything?
Not
like
in
if,
particular, no.
Okay. Alright.
Unless there's like a specific thing you would want to learn.
I don't
I
think
mean,
so
we're not going to
here.
anything about the boat. We're not going to anything about
I think just for my own, I would just want to hear about
Oh,
like
my
the names of
grandfather died.
captains or something like that. If they should, if they say
Yeah,
anything.
and then you would hear a few names dropped, but there's no like historical context to associate to
Okay.
any of them. They're not like famous captains or anything like that.
Not even my grandfather.
So I take it we get the benefits of a long rest if we're
Yes.
traveling for.
Mhm.
Okay.
It takes you several days of travel. I mean, unless you think that Delphine's constant "What's that? What's this? What does this do?" Would keep you from getting a long rest.
Sarah loves her.
No.
I can already tell.
That sounds like somebody's jealous.
I think I would spend a lot of my time on board just like answering those questions and also asking her about what's Merfolk civilization like.
Let's see what she would tell you.
Dad gets to know.
I'm telling Dawn.
Okay.
Gets to
I'll
know
probably
Del-
tell her first, but
He
sure.
Very well.
She tells you that there are actually merfolk groups as small as tribes, you know, like a couple families that band together, all the way to as big as like vast kingdoms, all the way throughout the oceans of the world. But they're often very disconnected, just because the ocean is so vast that the distances between each individual group of merfolk is significant. And she tells you that there's actually, you know, different political nuances to the underwater world. She talks about a race of creatures known as the Triton, and how they come from the elemental plane of water. And they're kind of like underwater elves, you know, and they'll help out with fighting off against various underwater threats that will come and attack civilization. She talks a lot about these like murderous creatures that tend to raid merfolk civilizations called Sahagin, things like that. And it just seems like it's almost as if there is a whole other world beneath the waves that is not marked on any of the your civilization's maps that she just continues to talk about.
Okay.
But then eventually the compass leads you to a specific point, and then the arrow, because you had to fire off this, if you recall, an arrow of light that sort of streaks across the sky in the direction you need to go. But you reach a point where the arrow arcs forward and then plunges downward. And when that happens, Mara, you feel that sort of connection enter into your mind again. And you can, in your mind's eye, see the form of Genbu with his staff standing before you in this mental, spiritual state. And he says, "Well, all right, I think you're right on top of me now, man. If you just go straight down below, you'll find him."
Alright, I
Okay.
think we better wear our armor for this
We'll make
one,
our
Well,
preparations,
we can't
and we're
swim.
very grateful.
You don't
Are
need
you
to
just
go
gonna go
straight
down there? Is that your
Yes,
plan?
that's true.
I mean,
We need the ship.
I can always transform to have you guys, or to help you guys get back up.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can probably more.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to wear my armor.
I mean, look, I want to be helpful, but there's not really much that I feel like I can do in this situation. I'm not very delicate, let's
Yeah.
say. But, and you can sense a little bit of hesitation in his voice. He says, but after a moment he says, "I mean, I could bring him up to you."
That'd be way better.
Oh wow.
Wow. So I can't. You guys aren't with me.
No, we're not with you.
Yeah. So, do you know how many are on board?
Can't really tell, man. I mean, without getting really close, and I think they'd notice.
Okay. Well, I think
I've been trying to be sneaky, you know, so they wouldn't like run away or anything like that. So I've
Okay.
just been hanging a ways back.
it would be much easier time for us if they were on the surface.
One thing
so
is, I would say if I scoop them up, they're gonna be, you know, they're gonna be on edge. If you go down there, you might have a little bit of surprise. That's all I can say, man. I'll leave the decision up to you.
Okay. Let me check with my friends.
Sounds good, man.
Thanks so much.
Talk to you in a sec. Bye.
Okay, so guys, do we want to have a angry above the surface fight, or do we
Well-
want to sneak attack under the water?
Wait, so do we have to fight them first?
Isn't
Like-
the whole?
I mean, I get that. I get
We're
that.
like trying to steal their ship from them.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, we can.
I mean, do you want
do
to
you-
ask them nicely if they want to sail into
Well,
the helms
I mean,
with us?
I feel like
Maybe he feels like Delphine can charm them.
The only
No.
reason I can see not to have Genbu bring them up is I'm worried that somewhere along the trip up they're just gonna slip into another plane.
Yeah, that's true too. It's,
Other than that, I would
but
love
they
to
could
have
do
them
that.
here.
They could do that anytime, even if we go down, right?
That's also
So I think bringing him up. If we all agree that we're just going in guns a blazing, then sure, we can do that.
do what?
Just start attacking them when they get up here.
So you want your vote is to bring them up here?
I want to bring them up here if we're going in for a fight. If we wanted to talk to them first for any reason, or you know, because you have someone you know down there,
So going in quietly and trying to
I wouldn't do
take
that.
people out quietly isn't.
No, we're at a huge disadvantage if we go down there.
All right. Maybe we should let Delphine get a head start. Get out of danger.
Good point.
Oh, but things are so interesting right now. Didn't
mean,
we
you
just
can-
get to where we were going?
That's true, but I mean,
Okay.
I don't want you to get caught in the crossfire. You can hang out and watch from under the water.
Yeah.
She thinks about it and says, "Okay, I think that sounds like a good plan."
Okay, can
would
you
one
talk
of you
to
mind
sharks?
moving my tank close to the edge so that I can just jump out?
Well, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
That's fine.
Push it across the deck.
Yeah, I'll just like kind of push and pull it. Yeah.
And she kind of like looks back to make sure that she's like is trying to see if any of you are looking.
Staring.
Yeah, and then she just kind of like shyly just like flops over the edge.
Yeah.
Bye, Duffy.
And then you hear a splash as she hits the water.
Okay.
I'll be watching from down here.
Stay out of danger.
Please be careful.
Thank you.
You guys are great.
Thank you.
Send attack sharks.
I wonder if we should have asked her for that
I could go look
breathing
for
underwater
sharks.
still anyway, just in case.
Do what?
I wonder if we should have asked her for that underwater breathing anyway, just
Well,
in
I'm
case.
still right here. She says from over the edge of the ship.
Yeah, can she cast it on us from there?
Just in
I
case.
think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if I go overboard, then
Yeah,
I'm...
it'll be good to
Yeah,
have
it'll
it
be
just in
good.
case
Yeah.
we get thrown
I
into
just
the
need to be
water.
able to see all of you, so if you could just come to the edge of the ship really
Okay,
quick.
Sure.
We do.
And she's kind of like down there waving her hands,
Mhm.
about to cast the spell. And as soon as all of you are in view, she casts it, and you can feel the air get a little bit heavier.
Okay.
Thank you.
The
Thank you.
hallmark of the spell being cast.
That's wise.
Okay, so I've got to go
So-
contact Gambu and tell him to bring the
Yeah,
ship
I
up.
guess I'll ready my bow for some
Yeah.
shots then.
Oh, Gambu.
Yeah, man. What's the verdict?
They want to fight up top.
All right, man. I'll go down and get him.
Flip
And the water around you kind of it's as if like it's displaced
Think so?
suddenly, and like there's like
Why?
a little bit of a sink to it, and then it rolls upward again as something massive below you begins to move. And there's a few minutes that go by before there's a bubbling and a churning of the water above as you can see in the very far distance, several miles out, a point of recognizable, seemingly black stone begins to emerge from the water, and it just keeps rising up out of the water, basically displacing the ocean and causing waves to buffet the side of the Drowning Kiss and push it backwards until this massive mountain of black shell rises up out of the water, and then slowly after it, maybe about like 1,200 feet away from you or so, rises up what looks like almost like an outcropping of black rock that just kind of juts outward. But eventually your brain, when you comprehend what you're looking at, you realize it is a massive fin, rises up out of the water, and on top of that fin you can see, sort of wobbling side to side, is this incredibly small by comparison to what is holding it, but incredibly large ship. The ship itself must be, let me get some better music before I describe the ship.
Here he goes.
I imagine Duffy is just freaking out.
I know.
Yeah, she's basically in the water just
Oh, she goes, oh, Gambu. Hi,
Yeah. Hey, you gonna be there on Saturday?
Crazy
she might
party
go talk
last
to
weekend.
Gambu, who knows? This massive black fin rises up out of the water, and perched precariously on top of it is this incredibly massive ship. By your estimation, even at this distance, you can tell that from the bottom of the boat all the way to the top of its deck, it must be somewhere between 100 and 120 feet, and that's not counting the mast and the rigging that rises up above the thing, perhaps doubling that height. In terms of length, it must be 300, 350 feet long, and it is an incredible width as well. And even at this distance, you can see the effects of age and constant exposure to water, as the entire hull is crusted with barnacles and things like that. And it rises up, and as it sits on the fins, its black sails sort of drifting now in the breeze. You can hear shouts and things beginning to rise from the other deck. What would you like to do?
Well, it's out of range for shooting it, so I guess I'll.
Yeah, how
like,
far
I mean,
away
we're
is
like,
closer.
what, 1,200 feet away is what you
Mhm.
said?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can only shoot
Okay.
600.
Just need
So.
to get
Kinda
the
bring
ship
it-
moving closer.
Yeah.
Get in there.
Bring the ship closer.
Okay, so you're gonna start moving the drowning kiss.
So
in?
can I use my scope and get a better look at the deck and see
Yeah,
what's on there?
Roll a perception check at advantage.
Try to use Gembu as a buffer so they don't see us
Well,
if we can.
I think we're kind of past that.
So 24.
24. Up on the deck, you can see a number of small figures. At this distance, they're a little bit. I mean, actually, you can see things clearly up to like a mile with your scope, right?
Yeah.
You can see that there are a bunch of humanoid figures. You know, they're about average size for like a human or a creature like that, moving about the top deck, and they seem to be in a panic. As you get a look at them, there is something disturbing about their appearance. As you notice, each and every one of them, they may have been human at one point. Some of them may have been other various humanoid races, like dwarves or gnomes or things like that. But each and every one of them has been warped in some way. Like you can see that all of them have barnacles and coral growing on them, but some of them will also have fins or tentacles, or one of them will have like a conch shell that grows up on its shoulder. Very much for visual reference, you can think of Davy Jones' crew from Pirates of the Caribbean, how they've all been warped to exhibit this sort of like either fish-like or crustacean-like appearance. And they are running about on the deck, and they seem to be positioning cannons and trebuchets and all those sorts of things in your direction.
Okay. So then I'll relay that to the group. Say they're preparing for us right now.
Oh boy.
how far away are they?
About 1,200 feet, as the Drowning Kiss's clockwork oars rev to motion and begin to pull you towards it.
Okay.
And at this distance, especially with the scope, you can see that the Sea Devil's Curse is the name of the ship, is beginning to sort of slide down the side of Gembu's fin towards the water itself. And as maybe you get within 500 feet or so of the ship, that's when that ship hits the water. And Mara, you can hear Gembu's voice fill your mind once more, and he says, "Well, all right, man, I brought him up, but now the rest is going to be up to you." And the fin and the shell begin to dip back under the water, causing massive waves to rock the two boats that are now coming towards each other.
500
that's a good
feet is
cliffhanger.
my range, by the way.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
or 600 is, so I can start shooting.
But I
Yeah.
think
So
that's
we'll
a good
start there,
cliffhanger.
I think,
That's fine.
next week as the Drowning Kiss and the Sea Devil's Curse begin to face off against each other in the depths of the vast expanse. Thank you all for watching. Thank the four of you for playing. I think next week we'll have a really interesting episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This could go so many different ways. So
I'm excited.
be sure to come back. We'll be back Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific time next week for more of this. Have a good night. Bye.
Alright.